Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Take a Peek episode, where this week we're taking a peek at One Way Heroics, a Japanese roguelike RPG. It's also a side-scroller. This game was made in 2014, but an interesting little tidbit right off the bat here, it actually supports, and it says this, it supports operating systems going back to Windows 2000. But it was made at the end of February of 2014 is when it was actually released. So this Japanese RPG, Japanese roguelike, I may as well call it. This Japanese roguelike is interesting and unique, and it tracks a lot of really cool stuff that you wouldn't normally see other games track. So up here you can see the playtime. So you see I've played this game for 2 hours and 42-ish minutes. Now, why would I be reviewing a game after playing it for only 2 hours? I mean, could I possibly give a good review of it? Well, yeah, that's the thing. This game is extremely short. I beat the game within the first hour. I learned how to play it, and then I beat it within the first hour of playtime. And I went back and I beat it a couple more times, and I've done other attempts on different worlds, and it has some replayability to it. That being said, it does not have New Game Plus. What you see a lot with roguelikes these days is a New Game Plus. Or just games in general have a New Game Plus. I mean, Call of Duty even has a New Game Plus type of thing. Not specifically, but Dark Souls has it. Rogue Legacy has it. I mean, it's almost a staple in these types of games anymore, in RPG games and adventure games. However, One Way Heroics does not have a New Game Plus, and to me, that gives it a different kind of replayability. In your standard RPG game, there is replayability because there's New Game Plus. However, this one stays a little bit closer to the original roots of what a side-scrolling adventure game is, in that there is no New Game Plus, and that you die and that's it. You're dead. It's over. Go back to your last save. This is definitely a more traditional one, more of the 90s eras, and the graphics kind of support that. If you look at just the world as it goes by down here, this is 90s era graphics for sure. If you just look at how everything goes together, that's 90s style. And it gives it kind of this nostalgic feeling about this game that I really, really like. So going into the game, actually real quick, the game is $4 on Steam, and for $4, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, anywho, now going into the game. Going to the options here, you can see there's a couple options in here. Just a couple. Basically, this is just your key configs. It's what you want for your key configs. Everything you do with the arrow keys in this game. There is no clicking. You notice if I Alt-Tab out, there's my mouse. I go back into the game, mouse is gone. There is no clicking. There's no mouse. It's all keyboard. All keyboard. You can have online features on or off. So, when you play in this game... My mouse is freaking out. When you play in this game, you either create your own server or join someone else's server. And if you turn online features off, the servers won't be there. But with online features on, you can get some very interesting experiences while playing the game. And I'll see if I can find a server that has some people in it so I can show that to you. But I strongly recommend having online features on. It's very similar to the way Dark Souls handles online features, is that you see phantoms of other players, little ghosts, death animations, that sort of stuff. Not quite in that great a detail as you get in Dark Souls, but the feel is still there. The feel of how Dark Souls works, the way they do their online features is still there. The extras in the game, we'll get more into this later after we go through a little bit of the game here and show a little bit of gameplay. We'll come back to this a little bit later. But basically, you can see your progress, you can see your replays if you've saved them. You can see which heroes you have that have actually cleared the game, have completed the game, and then just go ahead and check the bonus images that you've seen upon clearing the game. What bonus stuff you ended up getting. Now you notice, well, again, going back into options, you notice there's the key settings, there's audio settings, but you don't see any video settings. Now they did this in a very interesting way. In order to do video settings in this, you see down at the bottom, down at the bottom, you see it says, whoop, that was weird. That's really weird. Well, that's because I'm hovering over it with something else. Anyways, you see down here that there is F10 for full screen, F4 for change screen size, and then there's also F8 for change the info. In this case, it's in DirectX 9 right now. But you won't see me. Even if I change the screen size, you wouldn't see a difference on your end. But on my end, you can make it a really, really tiny resolution, so it's just this itty bitty little box, or you can do a full 1900 by 1080 resolution. It supports that. Or again, full screen to get whatever kind of resolution you're running. So it's all there, but it's in a different location. So continuing an adventure here, this is your save files. So save file 1, save file 2. This just your save files throughout the game. You can have up to 5, and of course you can overwrite them, resume them at any time. But saving in the game is in very specific locations. It saves like Dead Space 1 saves. There are save locations, and that's what you get. And if you try for anything else, then too bad. You have to save at X location or not at all. Effectively. We start new adventures. So, we go in, we choose our name. I put in the max characters, One Bad Terra. I can't quite put in One Bad Terran with 2 R's and an N. So that's max characters. There are 3, 6, 9, 10 characters, what you got. You can choose your class. So I choose Swordmaster, but I also have available to me A and B, where B is female, C is special, which we're not going to really get into the special ones here. I'll leave that for you guys to figure out. But A and B, male, female. We have also knights, hunters, adventurers, and several more classes that I have not yet unlocked. However, I am going to go ahead and stick with the Swordmaster. You see the little trophy next to the Swordmaster means I have cleared a game with the Swordmaster. So, notice how the stats change on the right here. So, Swordmaster life 110, whereas the Knight's life is 120, the Hunter's is 100, as well as the Adventurers. And just the entire thing, it all really heavily depends on how you want to play the game, ultimately. So, Swordmaster, really solid, really good. With the strength agility bonuses going on there. They have also in the bottom left, you can see the specialties of the Swordmaster. So the combo hit rate is twice of that, which combo hits in this game basically is multi-attack. So your standard attack is 1 attack. A combo hit is 2 attacks. So the combo hit rate is double that of other classes with the Swordmaster, so you get to attack twice more often, and you also get the Berserk skill, and we'll go into skills a little bit later. Damage reduction for shields is twice as normal for the Knights, which is great if you find a shield. Hunters are amazing with bows, can also dash and sense enemy positions and life, very helpful when you're looking around trying to find who to hit, what to hit, and where the enemies are. And of course, the adventurers are good at lockpicking, which you need to open up chests later on in the game. They're also good at, generally, adventuring, so they can swim and mountain climb a little bit faster, a little bit more efficiently than the rest. I should note that you only unlock the C version if you have actually beat the game with it. So the C version here, you only get that if you unlock or if you beat the game with that class. Then going into perks. Lovely, lovely perks. So this right here explains what each of the stats do. So strength. increases your attack power and your weight limit. Agility increases your combo hit chance by 5%. Notice it's not actually listed on there what your combo hit chance is, but do know that you can increase it by 5% for each additional agility. And it makes all other actions quicker as well. So vitality, it's your health and your damage reduction. Intellect is your identification rate. So it's increased by 10% per level. So when you find items in the world, typically when you come across them, it says, for example, sword and then 2 question marks next to it. You have no idea what this sword is. It's just a sword. It's a thing. You know how heavy it is, and that's it. With a high item identification rate, you will find out what that sword is. It'll give you all the stats for it, if you identify it correctly. If you don't, then it's still just question marks. You have no idea. Now, you can find people in the game that will identify things for you for a price. So, intellect is not super necessary. However, it also reduces your energy depletion by 5% and your stamina depletion by 5%. So, there is something to be said for having high intellect. Your willpower adds to your force power, which swords masters don't really use. You can kind of use it, but not really. It also increases your critical hit chance rate by 3% per level. So, willpower is pretty good for not brute force classes. Swordmaster is definitely more of a brute force class, as is the knight. Charisma is your charm, which helps people, helps you create a retina, helps people follow you, trust you, and makes shops a little bit cheaper. Now, this bottom one here, Swim Coach. This is something I unlocked in the game. After clearing the game, I unlocked Swim Coach. Now, you don't have to clear the game to get Swim Coach. You can buy it later. But I got Swim Coach after I cleared the game just because that made it a little bit easier, which increases your swimming ability by level 1, which helps you go through water that much faster. If you're on a water-heavy map, you definitely want Swim Coach, but for the most part, you can just kind of ignore Swim Coach. You can ignore swimming in general. Now, if you're an adventurer with Swim Coach, holy cow, you can go through water like as nothing. But for the most part, Swim Coach is not overly necessary. What I'm going to start with is just pure strength all the time. Give me a lot of extra damage, a lot of extra stamina. It's what I want to see. And then we go to start the adventure. Now, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. So, you can see in my history, I have dimension LKL2MD, where I've gone 408 kilometers, and dimension MLFAEECS, where I've gone 116. Now, the top dimension there, where it says new next to it, is a dimension that I have created. When you go to create a random world, that's a dimension that I just created. If you know friends, if your friend has made a server, you want to go hang out with them on their server, you can manually input the dimension you want, and then you can go join them on their server. So you guys can talk to each other and just kind of play together and have some fun. There's also other dimensions around here, which basically each one can have their own special things with them. Like dimension QETCER, where you can raise your charisma and recruit the king for your adventure, which is not something you can normally do. And as a special present, the enemies are a bit stronger than normal in that dimension. You can see one with the apocalypse, where money is everything. All that drops in this world is silver. The only NPCs to appear are merchants, and you can't survive in the world without silver. You have to have silver to get everything. You need money. So these are specialized servers that you can do as an advanced player to help keep you playing some more. So I'm just going to go ahead and join dimension Y242JKP to see if we can find some other people to play with. And then you have your 2 difficulty levels right here. So Walk in the Park is the Demon Lord appears at 400 kilometers. you have no partners, and your weight limit is at +10. And then you have the afternoon stroll, which the Demon Lord appears at various intervals. And for those of you who are looking at for a challenge. Now, he doesn't always appear at the same time, but it's usually around 100 kilometers is when he'll show up. We're just going to do a walk in the park to keep things pretty simple. And then go into this. So there's this little bit here before the game. And then you can tap any key to begin. So I'll leave this here for you to read if you want. It's a little bit of backstory. Every time you join a new world, you go in with a new adventurer, it creates this little backstory for you. That doesn't necessarily apply to you specifically, just kind of to the world and to the game as a whole. So we'll go press any key to continue. So, ... exclamation point. Some of my body, which should have been defeated by the stiff-necked dragon warriors, returned to me in one piece. Actually, maybe it is in one piece. My memories of my old body are already fading. So this is kind of hinting at the fact that I died last time, and I died to the creature it mentioned. And it's just saying that, oh, haha, you died, but wait, you're alive again, and you're playing again, and wait, what's going on? And then suddenly, here's the king, and oh, that's all I have to say about that. Isn't much, but I prepared some items to help you in the journey. The potted herb is a mystical item, which grows a healing herb once every 12 hours. That is very important. So, it'll be a tough journey. We'll leave the destruction of the Demon Lord up to you. I'll be leaving this castle behind as well. I hope you're able to meet once more. Now it's time to depart. I pray for your success. So, boom, he's gone. Alright, so, things to point out. So, up here, we have the clock and the music that's listed up here in 62 MIDI. We have info up here, so this will update here soon. We have this is a player who died, this is a player who died, and this is a player who died. It shows you kind of how they're doing. Actually, I think these players are alive, this player's dead. Sorry. This one's alive, this one's alive, this one's dead. You see the green health button, green health bar, and then the blue health bar, which is the amount of stamina they have. So Rich, still alive, made it 8 days, 15 hours so far. Half-naked Nefertima has made it 2 days, 15 hours, 57 kilometers, 396 kilometers. And then Well-Traveled Turn has made it 143 kilometers before succumbing to something. So again, this is the health bar and the stamina bar. So down here we have our text log, which just kind of stays there as is. It has 5 of the previous text dialogues, although you can really only read 2 or 3, but they're all there. Basic stats, so the day, the time, the distance, location, class, and level, as well as name and picture. Your weight, and how much silver you have as well. So you notice time has stopped. The clouds are moving, but time has stopped. The clock is not ticking. There will also be this little tutorial dialogue every single time you start the game. There will always be this tutorial dialogue up here. So, time has stopped, and you can see everyone around has stopped. So also, as self-explanatory, your life, your stamina, and your energy, and this is your map. Map is really tiny, doesn't get any bigger, but it is big enough to help you figure out what you want. So, like this little bit down here, these are mountains. These little white things here are mountains. Gray things tend to be structures of some sort, so they could be dungeons, they could be cities. Blue is water. Want to avoid that. For the most part, you can't tell if there is forest on the map. So, go ahead and go that way. Attack the box, and then take what's in it. So we have silver, fruit, and a vial of healing were in there. So we could talk to all these guards, but there's really no sense in talking to them because they're not going to do any good for us. What we can do is we can talk to this person here, who's available to us because we have beaten the game. She's still there earlier in the game, but really doesn't serve any purpose. She's really helpful for after you beat the game. So this is the Dimensional Vault. You can open the dimensional vault, and you see that I left stuff in there. So I left a Flame Grand Blade +1 and a flame-proof plate mail. Both are very, very good, very heavy, but we're not going to be taking any of that out. Now, if I wanted to, I could put stuff in there, but again, there's really no point to do that here. So we'll go ahead and close that. And then talk to the sensible old lady. Always talk to the sensible old lady. She will give you some information about the surrounding area. So, in this case, there's a big town and a small village nearby as we go along on our travels. Do you notice everything starts moving to the right a little bit after every tick? So if I just stand here and move around, you notice I'm moving it to the right a little bit. But if I move left, suddenly I'm getting really, really close to that, to the edge here. Now, you don't want the edge there to reach you. It's the darkness. The darkness will kill you. It will consume you. It will constantly change you. You have to go to the right always. Usually. But you can never go to the left. Ever. So there, the soldier died, the darkness engulfed him, and he's dead. So we move on. You notice Fairy Iris is the one that's giving out all this tutorial information. So, who is Fairy Iris? So we go into X here. These are our skills. Each of them does something special, which you are definitely going to want to pay attention to and need later on. We'll get to Iris in a second. We're going to go to the potted herb here. Use the potted herb because it says it's ripe. So we harvested a healing herb from the potted herb. Great. We now have a healing herb, which will heal us 40 life and 10% energy. We also have the vial of healing and entire fruit. And then our equipment, where the little number next to it is just the durability of the item that's left. And we can also drop things if we so choose. Iris is our little fairy that comes with us and tells us what's going on in the game and can answer some basic questions for us. So, yay! Nice to meet you. My name's Iris. Artificial fairy created by King Victor, the guy we talked to at the very beginning of the game. There aren't bound to be many fairies around here, so you can just call me Fairy if you want. Oh, and I'm the one in charge of helping you on this journey. Anything I can help with. So you can ask her a question. She can think about it. You can ask about the wilds terrain, what happens for certain things, run out of energy, run out of stamina, run out of life, the clock in the upper right of the screen, general tips, or just advice. In this case, we're just going to say, do you have a question? A question? Wait, why would I ask you questions? I'm the one who's supposed to be answering the questions, not giving them. Well, I guess I'll think on it at least. But it still feels strange. So, that's that. We're in the wilds right now, and there's really nothing special about the wilds. But when we reach a different terrain, I'll kind of show you what it's all about. Hi, little bat. Kill the bat. Keep going on. Down. Is there anything down here? Doesn't look like it. So now let's go up. So there's a feral dog. So we'll go C, spacebar, and away we go. This is basically how the game plays. Ooh, herb. Fried herb. There was a dungeon up here. That's okay. I think that was a dungeon. Whoop. Hi, bat. You just kind of wander around the land and kill the stuff that comes your way. Sometimes they'll have special little bits about it. So, see the Jewel Hunter Feral Dog. So, it's a feral dog, but this one specifically is Jewel Hunter. So we attack this dog, we kill it, get 6% experience, and we got 2 chipped jewels from him. So, Jewel Hunters tend to carry lots of jewels with them. So you look on the map right now. So you see the color difference on the map. Also said our potted herb has grown, so we'll get that. See the color difference right now on the map. So we have our white, which is our mountains. This is kind of just everywhere. And this is a slightly darker gray. Just barely. That signifies city or dungeon. We'll have to find a way in there. Oh, the imp hit me for 15. Alright, that's a zombie. We missed. Hit him good. Hit him real good. Get the imp. Alright, so we got enough to level up to the next level. That's because we got enough percentages. It's all calculated in percentage points. So 6%, 20%, whatever. So we got our strength increased by 1. It just randomly ups one of your stats. In this case, it was strength. Go ahead and wait. Kill that guy. Kill that guy. Here we go. So we got silver and a big stone. Reorient. Kill. Silver and a healing herb. Aha! There's a box in that corner. Quality whetstone. That's good. Alright, so this guy is a lizard guy. So this is the one that killed me. Not this specific guy. But this is a type of creature that killed me. You can see he hit me really hard there. And I probably won't be able to survive the next attack. So I go into my inventory and go to the healing herb. Restore 40 life. And then do that once again. Make sure that we have lots of health. Lay into him. Alright, so we weren't able to kill him, which is unfortunate. The Dragon Warrior just completely killed us, and our journey's at an end. You met your demise pretty quickly this time, but don't worry, it happens to everyone. Well, not to me, but you know what I mean. Alright, we'll settle down and get ready for advice time. Doesn't look like you used your awakening ability. You should use this ability when you're in a pinch, and if you're trapped behind a wall, your awakening ability is great for that. It looks like you were slain inside a dungeon. Oh no! So what happens at the end? So you see my ranking is pretty bad. It's because I didn't make it very far. I just died. My overall ranking was a C, a newbie swordsmaster. Because my battle grade and treasure pickup were C's, but my distance and level were pretty bad. So I didn't even get 1 heroic level. I got 0.9. And I got a game over before reaching the 3rd day, which gave me a -10 there. So overall, just didn't get very far, didn't do very well. So I didn't get anything out of it. However, you see I have 27 hero points right now. These are hero levels. You can expand your dimensional vault if you want. You can unlock new perks. So remember the perk I showed you was the swimming coach. You can also get Cliffhanger, Loyal Pet, and Shield Master if you wish. And then unlocking more classes. Now you can unlock classes by doing certain things in the game. For example, unlocking the Hunter you can do by shooting a bow and arrow. Finding a bow and arrow in the game and shooting them. Using the bow and arrow. Force users you can unlock by using force abilities. For example. But for the most part, you can just unlock the new classes by buying them. It's the easiest way. And then that's it. That's the end of the game. You know, return to your last screen. You can go in the dimensional vault if you want and put more stuff in there. So like if I want to put my potted herb in there, it's in there. You know, and maybe I want to put in my scroll of armoring. Why not? Now my vault's all full, and we're good to go. Invalid items, so we can't place this in here. That's not allowed to be placed in there. That's okay. We can put in a quality whetstone. It applies the quality effect to the weapon, which increases the stats and makes it more durable. The jewels you can pretty much just sell. You can throw items in the game, like a big stone. Obviously, that's something you'd want to throw. When you start running out of energy or stamina, you're going to want to eat Nataya fruits and dried herbs. At least for energy. Stamina stuff comes up a little bit later. And it's definitely something you're going to want to pick up. So then also the scroll of armoring. So with, for example, this flame-proof plate mail. It has flame-proof, which is great. I could also give it the scroll of armoring and the quality whetstone to make it even more powerful. I could do the same thing with the flame burst grand blade. Notice the grand blade only has 2 durability left. That's not good. But if we find a place where we can repair, or we find an item that lets us repair weapons and armor, then we want to take out the flame burst grand blade and use the repair item on the flame burst grand blade, because that'll be very helpful. It's a very, very powerful weapon. Oops. Yeah, apply these changes. Alright, and then we can go to replay data. So what happened? So you can watch or save. We'll just go ahead and watch it. So it starts at the very beginning and it'll play automatically for you. What happened? What did we do this one? Kind of wander around. Oh, hey, there's a dungeon. Oh, well. Check her up, check it out. Kill some guys. And then kill a whole bunch of guys, level up, get some more stuff, and kill, and then we're dead. And we're done. And it's over that fast. That was it. That was the entire replay. Really, really short. So let's go back to the title here. And show you one last thing before I call it an episode. Now, this game is a lot of fun, and I would love to show you more of it, some higher level stuff, but I don't want to spoil too much of the game. Like I said, I played it and beat it within an hour. So, within a couple hours, pretty much anyone could beat the game. So I don't want to spoil the end game for you. I want you to discover that for yourself. However, I can show you the first win I've ever had. 1 hour, 1 minute into the game. Weapons dealer. So you see, this is different terrain. This is snowy terrain. In the bottom right, when you're playing the game, it'll tell you what the terrain does to you. In this case, snowy terrain really saps your energy, so you gotta be careful. You can still do stuff without energy, but energy is very helpful for stamina recovery. So that's a ghost right there. I just interacted with a ghost, which means that's another player. It's another person out there that I interacted with that had died. And the ghost gave me something. That's an altar that I just encountered. Altars can do various things and ask you for things in return. You can also encounter special trees. There's another altar where you can sacrifice levels for bonus stats. But you can also encounter special trees every once in a while that'll have extra food on it. Herbs or Nataya fruits or stuff like that. Stuff that'll increase your stamina or other things. So you see I equipped sword, question mark, question mark. No idea what the sword was. I also have equipped clothes, question mark, question mark. I don't know what that is, but I know it's better than what I have right now just because of the weight. There we go. Now I have heavy armor, and I sold a whole bunch of stuff and got some silver out of it. So I'm about to hit level 3. Increase my max strength. This is a scroll of binding. I also have a scroll of confusion. So there's an appraiser. So we just went through an appraiser which told me exactly what I have. So I have a rooting grand blade, chainmail, and a bracelet that I don't know what it does. Now I do know what it does. Later I find out what it does and I don't use it at all because it sucks. But I do have it with me and I can sell it later. Now I'm level 5. Oh man, and we're at 200 kilometers. This is the halfway point. 200 kilometers. And we have flexible chainmail now, so I upgraded my chainmail. Found a lance. And went ahead and sold that. Now I'm being a dum-dum here. There we go. Now I equip my grand blade, and I didn't have it before. And now it's a flame burst grand blade. So I found a scroll that boosts the fire. So camping soldier gave me some extra stuff. And now you can see I'm doing over 100 damage right now. 200 damage. Because the flame burst grand blade is that strong. You see that I'm also killing off some red chests. That's because I found a treasure map which told me where the red chests were. And now we're getting into the 300 territories, which are very interesting. So we got the Scroll of Analysis there, which helped me get the flame-proof plate mail. I'm just going around killing stuff. I'm one-shotting these enemies because my weapon's so strong. But I'm also taking virtually no damage from the enemies because my armor and shield are super strong. The shield by itself won't save your life, usually, but it is damage reduction, so you definitely want to pick up a shield. We're level 13 at this point with 17 strength. That is a lot. So we have another area map we could use if we see fit, but there's really no point. It just kind of tells me, okay, that was another altar that I could spend levels in order to get bonus stats. So I put that into agility or vitality, one of the two. But the area map kind of tells me where towns are for that 100-kilometer region. We got the potted herb again, and we're going into now 400 kilometers. Now I'm going to end it here. If I can end it here, I'm going to end it there. 400 kilometers is where the boss battle is, and I'm not going to spoil that for you. But that's the journey to 400 kilometers. You want to pick up scrolls that will help boost your items. You want to find the appraisers that'll tell you what items are quality. What items do you want? So this is viewing the clear data. So I beat it, and this tells me all the information for whatever characters I've used that have completed the game, that have beaten the game. And this is not necessarily just me. This is all the people that I've ever encountered in the game will show up here. And it'll just give you some basic information about them. And then the adventure journal. You can see all my different attempts. I can get info about it, generally speaking. It just gives you your stats. The level you were, the hero level you were, I should say, as well as all of your stats that you had right there and all of the money you had, plus the end level that you were. So as you can see, attempt 6 is the attempt that I won after playing the game for about an hour. And I ended the game as a level 1, but I spent an additional 21 levels boosting myself. I took away several levels from myself to boost my stats, which is something you absolutely should do. Like, I see no reason to hold on to your levels. It's just another currency like silver. Speaking of which, silver is the only other currency. You can barter items if you do it right. But for the most part, silver and levels are your currency in the game. So, that's pretty much it. That is one-way heroics. It is a great deal of fun. I absolutely love it. And I've only played it for 3 hours, but in those 3 hours, I've given it several attempts. And I was able to beat it in one of those attempts that you saw, that end replay there. My very first win. You're able to see that there. And the game's fairly self-explanatory and very well polished. Everything is laid out fairly straightforward. It's easy to pick up, easy to learn. And it's a great homage to Japanese-style RPGs and roguelikes from the 1990s and early 2000s. So overall, I give this game a 7 out of 10. For as much praise as I give it, it's also, I put it down so much to a 7 out of 10 because it just doesn't have a lot of content. It does have content in the sense there's a lot of weapons and armors and shields out there that you can get, and the different combos you can get with the scrolls as well. The different buffs you can get, especially with accessories. But it's just not... There's just not enough there to really merit giving it a higher score than 7 out of 10. That being said, for $4, it's an absolute steal. I would say you could spend $8 on this game and easily get your money's worth out of it in terms of entertainment value. The price is amazing at $4, and truthfully, I think this is a quality game that deserves a little bit more attention than it's gotten in the past. So, as always, guys, thank you for watching. I will see you next time. If you have any questions about the game, or you want to see more of the game, let me know down below in the comments, and I'll see what I can do. DFTBA, and thanks for watching.